Welcome back to Wealth Alchemy, the channel that turns everyday knowledge into golden opportunities. Today, I want to take you deep into the mindset of high performers, the people who rise from ordinary circumstances and somehow manage to build extraordinary wealth. Not just because they got lucky, not because they were born into money, but because they think differently. They operate on a different frequency, a different rhythm, a different internal system. And once you understand how this system works, your financial life will never be the same again. Most people think wealth is about strategy. They think it's about what to invest in, which stock to buy, which coin will go up, or whether property is still worth it. But the truth is, strategy only matters after you have the right psychology. A poor mindset will sabotage a good strategy every single time. But a strong, disciplined, long-term mindset can turn even an average strategy into a fortune. So today, let's explore the inner world of money winners, the people who accumulate wealth not by accident, but by design. Winners begin with clarity. Not dreams, not wishes, but clarity. They know exactly what they want their life to look like in 5 years, 10 years, even 30 years. They don't say, "I want to be rich." They say, "I want financial independence by 2030. I want my investments to cover my living expenses. I want my time to belong to me." That clarity is powerful because your brain is a goal-setting machine. When you give it a clear target, everything inside you starts working to achieve it. Your habits, your actions, your decisions, even the people you associate with. Clarity creates direction, and direction creates momentum. But direction alone is not enough. Winners master delayed gratification. This is the real secret. Most people want quick money, fast success, instant results. They want the reward before they do the work. High performers flip that around. They are willing to sacrifice today so they can dominate tomorrow. They don't buy things to impress people. They don't chase every new, shiny object. They aren't controlled by the fear of missing out. They think in terms of decades, not days. And that's why compounding works for them. Compounding is not a financial concept. It is a psychological one. It rewards the patient and punishes the impulsive. For the average person, compounding feels too slow. For winners, compounding is the most powerful force in their financial life. They understand that small, consistent actions, saving a portion of income, investing regularly, learning continuously, are what build real wealth. Not big risky bets, not gambling disguised as investing, not chasing hype. Just steady, disciplined growth. Another trait of wealth winners is emotional control. Wealth isn't destroyed by bad markets. It is destroyed by bad reactions. When markets fall, average people panic, sell low, and buy high later when it is safe again. But winners stay calm because they understand cycles. They know that every period of fear eventually becomes a period of growth. They see drops as opportunities. They see noise as noise. They don't let fear or greed drive their decisions. They let logic, numbers, and long-term positioning guide them. But emotional control goes deeper. It's also about controlling your relationship with yourself. High performers are brutally honest with themselves. They don't blame the economy, their boss, or their past. They take responsibility for their money, their habits, their financial decisions. Responsibility is power. Because when you take responsibility, you also take control. You can change anything you are willing to take responsibility for. Winners also understand one thing most people never learn. Money is a system. Not luck, not magic, not a mystery. A system. A system of habits, decisions, and behaviors. The richer you become, the more important the system becomes. Because money doesn't just grow, it amplifies the person holding it. If you give a strong system more money, it grows stronger. If you give a weak system more money, it collapses. That's why lottery winners go broke. They got the money, but they didn't have the system. Another powerful trait is environment control. High performers are very careful about who they listen to. They don't take financial advice from broke people. They don't hang around friends who have no ambition. They choose an environment that pulls them forward, not one that pulls them down. Because your environment is like gravity. It either lifts you or it holds you back. And the moment you change your environment, your results change with it. Another important psychology of wealth is the focus on skills over shortcuts. Winners invest aggressively in themselves, learning, improving, upgrading. They understand that skills produce income, but shortcuts produce problems. They know every new skill becomes a new income stream. And they know your life is a reflection of the skills you've built, not the shortcuts you've taken. High performers also use something most people ignore: systems thinking. They don't just live paycheck to paycheck. They build systems for earning, systems for saving, systems for investing, systems for protection, systems for growth. They turn their financial life into a machine that keeps running even when they are not working. And finally, winners think about wealth not in terms of money, but freedom. The goal is not to have more cash. The goal is to have more control over your life, more time for your family, more energy for your dreams, more peace of mind knowing that no matter what happens in the world, you are financially strong enough to survive and thrive. So if you want to build wealth like a high performer, start with the psychology. Get clear on your long-term vision. Prioritize delayed gratification. Strengthen emotional control. Build systems instead of relying on luck. Surround yourself with people who think big. Invest in skills that increase your value. And let compounding do its magic over time. Wealth is not a race. It's not a competition. It's a personal journey. One that requires patience, discipline, clarity, and courage. The moment you upgrade your mindset is the moment your financial life starts transforming. If this video has given you value, remember to subscribe for more insights on building real, lasting wealth. This is Wealth Alchemy, turning knowledge into gold, one step at a time.